News Services Division of Akashvani presents Northeast Diary.
Good evening and welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. As we explore the fascinating northeastern part of India, each episode offers new insights and captivating stories. Here is a sneak peek at what we have in store for you today. Today, we take you on an exclusive journey into the culture and heritage of Assam. Known for its lush and vibrant landscapes, Assam is a melting pot of history and diversity. Our special correspondent, Regina S. Nair, will share her captivating experiences from this stunning northeastern gem. We will also bring you a report on the introduction of vocational training to combat drug abuse in Meghalaya. Additionally, we will explore the revival of weaving culture in Nagaland. But for now, let's travel to Mawlynaung village, nestled in the East Khasi Hills district of Meghalaya. Here, Colonel Mani K. Ghatraj shares his unique experience of cleanliness in this village, famously known as Asia's cleanest village or God's own garden.
Stirred to a slow, dreamy wakefulness from a night-long slumber caused by a tiredness of almost 100 kilometers plus drive from Shillong, I woke up to the sounds of chirping birds in Mawlynaung, the cleanest village of Asia. Located in the East Khasi Hills district of Meghalaya, the abode of clouds, this little village is the epitome of cleanliness and orderliness personified. The warm and gentle caress by God's finger-like rays of the rising sun, filtering through the white laced curtains of the open window, gliding in sync with a gentle moving breeze, bathed the tiny wooden room. Fully awake, refreshed and invigorated by the magical morning, I observed the cool interiors of the small room with wooden walls, wooden door, and two tiny wooden windows and a rough wooden ceiling, tempted, as always, to breathe the fresh morning air outside. Walking out through the wooden door, I surveyed the scene outside as I sat on a long wooden bench at the veranda of the cottage. A small and neat courtyard was filled with riots of bright pink and magenta bougainvillea bushes, and the rays of the rising sun from the eastern horizon reached the cottage garden, filtering through the branches of pine, aromatic bay leaf trees, and the thick green foliage of lychee and jackfruit trees that guarded the cottage as it stood at peace and in silence with itself, savouring nature's paradise with a hot mug of strong Khasi tea that materialized through a sweet smiling little girl of the house. I heard the sound of a jungle myna from a nearby stream gurgling down the village. The morning peace was punctuated by the chirpy and lively bird calls, and I could distinctly hear the melodious twitting of magpies and robins. I clicked photos of the house, the garden, and the surroundings at random. There were birds dancing and hopping around in the garden, feeding themselves with flower juice, insects, and worms. I noticed a scarlet minivet, a Burmese roller, and a blue-throated barbet amongst robins, sparrows, while a flock of noisy seven sisters flew in and out of the garden in a hurry. The beautiful cottage homestay, my home for the day, belonged to Lurshai Khongsni, who doubled as a primary school teacher of the local government school and owner of an orchard of orange, pineapple, and areca nut, locally called Kwai. I was referred to Lurshai by his uncle and one of my best friends and regimental officer, Lieutenant Colonel Martin Kongmen, retired, who was born and had spent his carefree boyhood in Mawlynaung. Now he lives in Shillong, pursuing evangelical and social work. Lieutenant Colonel Martin not only arranged my trip, but, unbeknownst to me, even sponsored my trip by passing a sealed envelope to his nephew. I was extremely fortunate as another dear friend and regimental officer, Colonel Sanjay Mothe, lent his private car for the trip, although regular bus sumo services as well as hired taxis are available from Bada Bazar, Shillong to Mawlynaung at reasonable tariff. I washed up, changed and relished a breakfast of bread with local orange honey, omelette of local duck eggs, washing it down with my favorite strong Khasi tea. Refreshed with a good night's sleep, and a hearty breakfast, I left the house with Lurshai to explore the village. As we walked around the village, I was most pleasantly shocked and surprised by its spotlessly clean environment. It could not be India, my dear country. The entire village was just plain clean, without frills, without a single trace of dirt, trash, cow dung, or for that matter, even chicken or bird droppings. Having carried out numerous cleanliness and orderliness inspections in my military life, I critically looked around for those small coloured shining tobacco gutka packets that litter the cities, towns and villages of India, but found none. Even the drains along the houses and roads were spotless, and children had playfully chalk-written letters of the alphabet in the drains. I observed a few trash or waste papers in conical bamboo baskets tied to bamboo poles and thoughtfully placed low enough for the children to use. I observed children playing and dogs and cats and chicken moving about, but not a bit of litter anywhere. The main road was blacktop tarmac, and there were smaller cemented footpaths connecting houses or clusters of houses. And there were a few ordinary mud and stone footpaths, all neat and clean. Most of the dwellings were small cottages with corrugated iron sheet roofs and wooden or bamboo walls. All the houses were erected over 2 to 3 feet high lofts or machans for air circulation and to ensure safety from rainwater during monsoons. There were a few roadside shops where girls were selling fruits, cool drinks, vegetables and wooden artifacts from Bangladesh, all neatly arranged over wooden benches, and again, no litter, absolutely clean. As I walked, marveling the sense of cleanliness of the villagers, I saw a small boy deliberately placing dry leaves and a few papers in the conical bamboo waste basket. That was the sense of cleanliness instilled in the children since the time they came into the world of Maulinang. In other words, keeping their homes and the village clean was a way of life for the simple Khasi people of this village that was passed from generation to generation. The waste collected in the conical bamboo baskets is regularly poured into pits and used as manure after a few months of maturing. The village headman informed me that waste which is not biodegradable is collected and dumped at a dumping site far away from the village once a month. Maulinang village has undoubtedly set an example for others that needs to be replicated in other villages. The spirit of cleanliness exhibited by the villagers through their self-sustained efforts deserves an applause. Well, after the long day drew to an end, I thought of giving myself a break and returned to my beautiful cottage to prepare myself to discover other gems of this magical land.
Nagaland boasts a timeless tradition of weaving, an art passed down through generations. The loin loom or backstrap loom plays an integral role in the identity of the Naga people, with each tribe having its distinctive weaving style and motifs that reflect their traditions and beliefs. But before these beautiful fabrics are created, an essential step is involved: spinning. After a period of dormancy, this ancient craft is making a comeback among Naga artisans, driven by a desire to reconnect with tradition and reduce their carbon footprint. Our Kohima correspondent, Mary Maise, brings us more details on this.
For centuries, Nagas have been skilled cotton cultivators and weavers. Cotton was grown in abundance and processed entirely by hand. From harvesting to seeding, carding and spinning, the Nagas wove their own cloth. That is, until the early 20th century when mill-spun cloth and yarn arrived. As technology and modernization took over, the tradition of hand spinning began to fade with the shift to colorful and low-priced yarn. Age of fast fashion and synthetic material, however, community celebrations and a recent resurgence of cultural pride in traditional heritage have sparked renewed interest in traditional textiles. A new generation of Nagas is reconnecting with their cultural textiles and embracing the once fading craft. Naga spinners are creatively turning to locally available fibers, natural dyes, and sustainable tools to create intricate fusion designs, shifting from mass production to mindful and personalized fashion.
I believe that young women should actively learn the art of traditional weaving to preserve the customs and heritage passed down by our forefathers. In a world that is rapidly changing with the advancement of technology, many young women today have moved away from learning and practicing age-old skills like weaving. Instead, they opt for the convenience of machine-made clothing, which is faster and more accessible.
The revival is not only preserving a way of life, but it is also supporting income generation of local communities and rural women in particular, promoting eco-friendly fashion and preserving unique designs. Demand for hand-woven garments, mekhelas, shawls and home decor items are growing both within Nagaland and abroad. It is a beautiful reminder that even in a rapidly changing world, traditions are timeless. It is a symbol of Naga resilience and creativity to embrace the ancient traditions and weave a more sustainable future. For Northeast Diary, this is Mary Mayase, Akashvani News, Kohima.
The Meghalaya state government is exploring the introduction of vocational training programs at rehabilitation centers to help individuals recovering from substance abuse gain practical skills for independent living. Dream Mission Director Francis Kharsiang recently met with experts from various institutions to discuss offering free training to drug users. This initiative aims to combine rehabilitation with skill development, providing a pathway to employment and self-reliance. Here is the report.
In a new initiative aimed at supporting individuals recovering from drug abuse, the state government is exploring the possibility of introducing vocational training programs at rehabilitation centers across Meghalaya. The goal of the program is to equip those in recovery with practical skills that will enable them to lead independent and productive lives once they complete their rehabilitation. To discuss this idea, Francis Kharsiang, the director of the Drug Reduction, Elimination and Action Mission, or DREAM, recently convened a meeting with experts from various organizations, including professionals from the Industrial Training Institutes, Meghalaya Skill Development, Bosco Integrated Development Society, the Ramakrishna Mission, among others. The discussion focused on selecting suitable vocational courses, forming partnerships, and ensuring that adequate infrastructure and resources are in place to support the program. Following the meeting, Kharsiang expressed optimism, saying that the introduction of vocational training during rehabilitation would be a positive step.
We discussed the possibility of introducing vocational training in the rehab centers and follow up with further training after the rehab. Maybe that will bring in some change into these youth and maybe motivate him, give him that confidence to stand up in society and initiate his own business, his own work, and be productive that way, and productive for himself as well as for society.
However, Kharsiang acknowledged the challenges of such an endeavor, noting the complexity of dealing with individuals who have gone through profound lifestyle changes.
Extremely complex. It's not like you have some certain problems, or maybe in a hospital where somebody is sick and you treat them and you know how to treat them, diagnose them and all that. This is a very complex issue. We're dealing with the individuals who have undergone major changes in their life and lifestyle, which has affected them greatly. So to approach solving this issue, we cannot rest on only one solution. There must be multiple solutions from all angles, There should be maybe some physical training, there should be counseling, there should be community support, there should be awareness, many other things.
Despite the challenges, Kharsiang remains hopeful. If the initiative proves successful, it will mark a significant achievement, he said, adding that even inspiring just one person to change would make it all worthwhile.
This is one aspect which I thought we could give it a try. And if this works, nothing like it. I'm very happy about it. If I can inspire one person to and bring some change in him, I'm really, really happy. I'll be extremely happy.
This is KG Chapola with Lamprang Nongspang reporting for Northeast Diary from Akashvani News, Shillong.
Assam, often referred to as the land of blue hills and red rivers, serves as the gateway to the northeastern states and is aptly described as the sentinel of northeast India. The state is adorned with lush green landscapes, a chain of hills and rivers such as the Brahmaputra and the Barak. Assam has been home to various races, tribes and ethnic groups for centuries. The dynamic synthesis and assimilation of these cultures make Assam a gloriously rich and diverse land. Our special correspondent Regina S. Nair takes us on a journey through the culture and heritage of Assam, sharing her travel.
Known saying that it is the people that make a place and not vice versa. And nothing would prove that right more than the over 2,000-year-old ancient state of Assam. Its people, descendants of the erstwhile Ahom Rajas, who ruled the region for 6 centuries, are a blend of Indo-Aryan, Austro-Asiatic and Tibeto-Burman origin, which in turn has led it to be a culturally rich and diverse state. The state, which also has the largest number of tribes or races in India, can also attribute its vibrant culture and traditions to the practices that the different dynasties and empires inculcated into it. For example, the Ahom rulers during their long reign gradually became Hinduized, and the extent of their cultural mingling was seen in the art, literature, customs and architecture. They adopted the Assamese language and observed local customs for marriage, fertility and burial. They converted to Vaishnavism, a sect of Hinduism. With the advent of the Britishers who standardized the language, the traditional culture adopted a new modern form. The residents of Assam have followed and maintained the rich and diverse culture of their forefathers for over 2,000 years and have traditionally been expert craftsmen in the production of silk, bamboo and cane products, among others. Different art forms and handicrafts come from different regions of Assam. In fact, weaving is the traditional craft of the Assamese, and women of almost every house proudly own a loom. The people of Assam take their weaving so seriously that the state got its first geographical indication, a form of intellectual property right, for the Muga silk they produce. Muga is a natural, golden, glossy silk made from the semi-domesticated silkworm Antheria assamensis, found exclusively in Assam. The pupa of the worm feeds on som leaves found only in the region. This global recognition of the very durable and lustrous glossy Muga silk can be attributed to the state's Ahom rulers, under whose patronage the production of Muga silk thrived. Royalty and members of the courts of the Ahom Rajas had to wear the silk clothing, and it even became an intrinsic part of the socio-economic life of the residents across centuries. The beauty of this variety of silk is that its sheen increases every time you hand wash it, and it lasts years. We decided to visit Swalakuchi, the nerve center of Assam's silk weaving, also called the Manchester of Assam because of the presence of numerous cottage handloom industries. The village, about 30 kilometers from Guwahati, is one of the world's largest weaving villages where every household weaves, something that they have been doing for generations. During important occasions and festivals, female dancers wear the traditional dress or mekhlas of Muga silk, which cost about 30,000 rupees in Swalakuchi and upwards of 40,000 rupees outside the village. When we reached the village, we were welcomed by the view of people weaving in every house and looms surrounded by colorful threads and other knickknacks. Over 3,000 weavers work regularly in the looms of Swalakuchi. Apart from Muga silk, the other two popular varieties are the white or creamy colored Path silk and the eri silk used to make warm clothes in winter. Though the Muga was too expensive for me to buy, I did pick up some eri shawls priced at about Rs 2,000 each. While Path is made from silkworms that feed on mulberry, the eri silk is made from worms that eat leaves of the castor oil plant. The eri silk is also known as the non-violent silk because the pupa is not killed, and it is only after the moth leaves the cocoon is the cocoon harvested and spun into thread. The soft and warm silk is used in shawls and quilts. Besides sericulture, Assam is also known for cane, bamboo, bell metal and brass production. Because of the tropical climate of the region, bamboo grows in abundance here and products made from these are used in every household. Traditional utensils and other articles made from bell metal and brass are common for the people of Assam. The zorai and bota have been used for centuries to offer betel nut and betel leaves to guests. In fact, all the households of the towns of Hajo and Sartabari near Guwahati are engaged in making traditional as well as modern bell metal and brass articles. Its master craftsmen also make toys, masks, pottery, terracotta items and woodcraft. We picked up some beautiful cane and jute lampshades. We also bought the traditional japi, a conical hat made from tightly woven bamboo, cane or palm leaves. In the early days, the large japis were worn by farmers for protection against the sun and rain. Today, it is a symbol of respect offered to guests and is used in ceremonies. It has geometrical patterns in red, white, green, blue and black with a typical red border. Crafts are inherent in the people of Assam and every festival or occasion is marked by merrymaking. The most important festival for the Assamese people is Bihu, the national festival of the state, celebrated thrice a year, with the Rangoli or Bohag Bihu celebrated in April being the most important one. It is during this festival that the popular folk dance of Bihu is performed by both men and women with gaiety. This dance is said to celebrate fertility. The Magh Bihu, the harvest festival, is also known as the Bhogali Bihu and is celebrated in January. The third Bihu festival, Kangali Bihu or the Poor Bihu, is observed in mid-October when there is no food in the house before the harvest is brought home. It is during these festivals that men and women wear their traditional attire. The men wear the two-piece dhoti gamosa, a rectangular white piece of cloth with red borders on three sides and woven motifs on the two ends. Women wear the two-piece motif-rich mekla chador, traditionally made from Muga silk. A visit to this beautiful state leaves one feeling like there is still so much more to explore and absorb, be it from its rich and ancient art and culture, beautiful history and architecture, stunning landscapes and vibrant wildlife. I do promise myself a visit again to awesome Assam.
Folks, now enjoy the Nagamese New Year song, Purana Saal Tu Parkuri Jaise, sung by B.J. Lamkhang and M.B. Aimoy.
Purana Saal Tu Parkuri Jaise, Purana Jivan Bhi Parkuri Jaise, Natin Saal Ahise, Natin Jivan Ahise, Sabi Saman Soft Natin Hoyase. Bole
with that, we come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Join us again next week for more stories from this enchanting part of India. Until then, goodbye.
This program was presented and produced by Vinita Thakur with assistance from Kumar Gaurav. It was brought to you by the News Services Division of Akashvani.